Put your hands in the air.
Criminal mastermind.
Get your hands behind your back.
Or just a kid caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm going to explore all this and more in this video.
He was like an average kid. You know, you tell the kids, let me go out of one ear and another ear, you know.
The story of an 11-year-old murder suspect and Chicago's gang violence.
But he wasn't that bad. He didn't, he didn't do nothing to harm nobody.
Today, I'm taking you on a journey to the Windy City to witness one of the most sensational cases of juvenile justice, that of Robert "Yummy" Sandifer.
They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators.
He was 11 years old when he was charged with first-degree murder in 1994.
So I want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street.
But if society fails an 11-year-old, how can we be sure justice will prevail? I brought along a special guest to help us explain.
Today, on the south side of the city, a boy's body was discovered beneath a railroad viaduct. He is the young gang member who the police think was involved in a 14-year-old girl's shooting. According to the police, Shavon Dean was struck by a stray bullet as the suspect started shooting at a group of boys standing on a corner. Police said the suspect, who was 11 years old, had a long police record.
By now, nearly all of us know the story of Robert Sandifer, known as Yummy to his friends. He was first arrested when he was 8 years old. When he was only 11, he became a suspect in the gang shooting of an innocent girl named Shavon Dean. Several days later, that boy died himself in what Chicago police say was yet another gang-related killing.
Put your hands in the air. Hands up. Put your hands on your head. Stop, or I'll shoot.
The body found under the viaduct hasn't been confirmed to be the 11-year-old, but police say they both have a tattoo.
Yummy completed his task by shooting two opponents of his gang in ambushes within a block of his home. Keandre Britton was shot twice in the back on August 28, 1994. Sammy C., 16, and Shavon Dean was 14, were shot a short while later in the area of 108th and Wentworth, close to the initial shooting. Shavon Dean died from her gunshot wound.
He's only 11 years old, and I don't understand justice. If they say he had 22 counts of whatever they said he had, why was he leased out? The kid was sick, he needed help a long time ago.
Was there a lot of shooting around here?
Yeah, especially on 108th, the 108th Street, 108th.
How long has this shooting been going on? Years? Months?
Well, months. No, a few weeks, months and weeks. Yeah, months and weeks. It just started back last week.
The Roseland neighborhood was one of the most dangerous in Chicago in 1994, and Chicago was on a warpath to reach over 900 murders.
Robert is my grandson, and I love him, and we hope everybody else love him. In spite of what somebody said, I don't care what nobody said. Robert is mine. He always have been mine, and I love him, and if I could give him part of my heart, I would bring him back as of today. This light is lit for Robert. As Yummy, we love you. We would always love you. And you are still my angel, in spite of what was said. You are my angel. And I love you, I love you, I love you, and you still have a beautiful family, and you have a family. Let the world know that he have a family. He's not from nobody, he's mine, and he have a family.
A 3-day-long citywide manhunt for Yummy was conducted by the police. Yummy's remains were found near an underpass. The Hardaway brothers, who were also fellow gang members, were taken into custody and charged as adults with Yummy's death. They were 14 and 16 years old.
Is this your first time here?
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Because I care
What do you care? What do you mean you care?
that this happened to a little boy. And I'm concerned about the little, ooh. It happened right here.
They washed it up. They look like some blood.
What do you think?
It's sad. It's just sad. I think it's just sad. It's real sad. And it's a shame.
He was all right, really down to earth. He was a nice kid, you know. Just got mixed up in the wrong crowd. They just blew it out of proportion, you know. And I would like to yeah, they just blew it out of proportion.
You say you like
Tell us what your son's really like, then, to correct the record.
He's an average 11-year-old child that, you know, maybe get hooked up with the wrong group of kids, and, you know, kids intends to it leads to other things. Maybe he really didn't probably know better, you know. Well, I try to talk to Robert during those times, you know.
What'd you say to him?
I would ask him to, you know, get into some kind of boy club, or is it any Boy Scouts, or, you know, community centers and stuff like that. Because I have my other kids in community centers.
What did he say to you about the way he was living? Did he defend it?
He was like an average kid, you know. You tell the kids, let me go out of one ear and another ear, you know.
On March 12, 1983, Lorena Sandifer gave birth to Robert Yummy Sandifer, the fourth of her 10 children. According to published accounts, Yummy's mom was a lady of leisure who mistreated her children, and his father, Robert Atkins, was sentenced to prison 3 months before he was born. On January 1986, they took him out of his mother's residence when authorities discovered Yummy and his elder siblings inside the house alone. In August 1986, the Department of Children and Family Services intervened and gave Yummy's grandmother custody of him and his siblings.
I know the little boy. I took some time out with him, and he seemed kind of quiet. You know, he respects me, and he liked to being with me. I never had 1 minute a problem with that young man. They was outside playing. My daughter, them, they went around the front. They always take walks. They love to walk. They just walk. And I tell them all the time, y'all stop walking so much. Why y'all be walking so much? But they young folks, you know, you're not gonna catch no young person that's gonna stay in no house. Shavon came from that way running. And the bullet came from that way. The shots come from that way.
So Shavon was running?
Yeah.
So she was trying to get home?
She was trying to get home.
He was a sweet little kid. He wasn't violent, and he wasn't bad. The way they talking about now, that's not true. It's not true. He was very short. To be his age, he was real short.
Was he a bright fellow? Was he a smart guy?
Yeah, he was very bright and very smart. He can draw, he can read, he can write.
What kind of food did he like? I mean, was he...
He loved food, gyros. You know, he ate a lot. Mm-hmm. When Mama had barbecues, he ate that. He ate a lot.
Why was his nickname Yummy?
Because he loved cookies.
His nickname was Yummy because he loved cookies?
Yeah.
What was his favorite cookie?
Chocolate chip. Oreo. You know them chocolate chips in the blue bag? That's what he liked. You know, I don't care what nobody said, he wasn't bad. He was bad, but he wasn't that bad. He didn't, he didn't do nothing to harm nobody.
What do you think people have wrong about him? What do they think about him that's not true?
What they said in the newspaper, he died the way he lived, and I didn't like it.
He wasn't bad. He was kind of bad, but he wasn't that bad. He never bothered nobody. He always used to mind his own business.
When you say kind of bad, what do you mean?
He would do stuff wrong, like ordinary kids would. Some things, but not the bad stuff.
Fighting, stealing, breaking in people's houses.
Did you ever see like the police coming to his house?
Every other day.
Every other day the police were coming to his house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was bad.
Are these bad? Was it? Would you say Robert Sandifer was bad, right?
Yeah.
Would you say the Hardaway boys are bad?
Nope.
I wouldn't know.
Cause they ain't never been, when they was around here, they wasn't bad.
Were they in the gang?
I don't know.
He used to run around saying gang signs and stuff, doing a gang flash, trying to beat people up, trying to act all hard and everything. Most of the things he used to do was like ride bikes and stuff.
Ride bikes?
He liked to ride bikes.
Did you ever see him do it? Like, give me an example.
He ride bikes down things, doing wheelies all the way down there, and come back doing wheelies down here.
He would invent something like connect two bikes together, put one frame on the back, and then it's like two bikes in one. He invents stuff.
I mean, it shocked me. He shouldn't have got killed like that. I mean, he didn't have to die the way he was killed, but that's the life you live. That's what happens.
Over the years, there has been ample documentation of the harm he endured at the hands of family members. The coroner recorded 49 wounds in various states of healing, including burns from cigarettes at the time of his death. In the last 18 months of his life, he was taken into custody by the police roughly 30 times, including for 23 felonies. He was charged with 8 felonies, found guilty twice, and given probation as a sentence, the most severe punishment a minor under 13 could get under state law at the time. Police believed that Yummy's shooting had likely been ordered by Black Disciples gang bosses in order to silence him.
Just show your parents that you love them. If you have any problems, talk to somebody, some adult.
Here, sample.
In 1994, when the nation was struggling with what politicians claimed was a continual spike in violent crime committed by juvenile offenders, Yummy was one of more than 900 murder victims in Chicago that year. President Bill Clinton signed the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act into law on September 13th, just a few days after these heinous shootings. The $30 billion Act, sometimes known as the Crime Bill, put the nation on the road to incarcerating large numbers of African American men and boys. It reduced the age at which a kid might be charged as an adult in federal court. Today, 2/3 of Americans who receive life sentences as juveniles in America are Black, and the bulk of those instances involved children of color. Senator at the time, Joe Biden, was the main author of the legislation.
So I don't want to ask, what what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. And that is, unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
The anticipated, unfavorable effects of those policy initiatives were never discussed in the early 1990s criminal justice reform public dialogue. A year later, the community is still struggling from these unthinkable events.
The lyrics cry out for Shavon Dean. Now a neighborhood gathers to cry and remember together. Remember that one stray bullet killed Shavon Dean a year ago, and her death, like a falling domino, caused another. Robert Yummy Sandifer, accused of Shavon's murder, murdered himself just days later. The pain hasn't passed with time.
I'm very, very angry, but I mean, it only hurts me to carry this anger in me, so I have to release of that also, and pray and ask God to reveal the truth, what really happened.
Tonight, some 100 people marched from the scene of Shavon's murder to her home. It's not far, but it seems like a lifetime away. Tonight, candles light the path, but a year ago, there was no light.
I'm still saddened by the mourning of her death, and it's such a tragedy. Maybe it's time for people to stop gangbanging, stop a lot of violence, and maybe one day we can all come together as one and have some unity among our neighborhoods.
Strength is evident in joined hands. Pain is clear in fallen tears. In this Roseland neighborhood where two mothers lost their children, there are others trying to save theirs.
It's been a difficult time for everybody here and their friends and teachers.
What kind of kids were they? Are they?
Average kid. Mischievous. But they had that mentality to kill everybody.
What has changed? What has there been any significant change in the last 6-8 months?
There has been a significant change in the boys on how they view things now. Because prior to this, they were happy-go-lucky. But now they think more before they do anything.
My neighborhood. Peace. Will reign. Peace. Will reign. I'll break the code of silence. And make our streets. Safe streets. For our children. Now when she closes, I want everybody to shout out Shavon's name as loud as you can.